That really highlighted what is the use case for Bitcoin and why should you own it. And for any asset you're holding, I mean, you've got to have a firm grasp on what your thesis is.
Mhm.
Why am I holding this asset? What am I counteracting? And I think for a lot of people, when you start to get into the speculative game, you lose sight of that, right? People move into excitement, but they don't necessarily have a purpose for why they're holding an individual asset, an individual security. And I see that broadly in the digital asset ecosystem. There's a lot of excitement around a lot of the other coins these days. You're seeing treasury companies pop up around these other coins these days. But you have to ask yourself, what is the fundamental problem they're trying to solve?
Mhm.
And does that problem sustain for a very long time? And that's where I think Bitcoin differentiates itself from an asset like ETH or Sol or any of the other ones, is Bitcoin solving for monetary debasement, right? It's a way to preserve value. And that's a use case that's globally recognized. That hits everybody. Just look at the state of all the currencies globally, any of the fiat currencies that are out there. You're seeing constant debasement. And part of that is the entire structure of the system, right? And in our system, we're in a consumer-based system, and you can't incentivize consumer behaviors without having people know that the currency they're holding is worth less if they wait a year. And so Bitcoin's meant to give you the opportunity to take that energy and time that you're putting into creating this value for yourself and have a vehicle where you can store it in an infinite duration asset, which really hasn't existed before. And that really highlighted what is the use case for Bitcoin and why should you own it. And that's just a incredibly universal use case. But with Bitcoin, this is a universal problem. Corporations face it, individuals face it. And so this is going to be an asset that has a broad user base.
Very well said.
And
It's competing with the idea of money itself, right? It's the world's most in-demand asset, which is a store of value, which hasn't been solved for in a very, very long time that anybody can hold. And so that's the true innovation, right?
it actually allows you to have a much more peaceful investing life.
Mhm.
When you're holding an asset and you're looking at a problem that you can't see a fix for, I don't know how they're going to solve for the money printing and the debt problem and constantly stimulating the economy and trying to get it to grow and get people to spend. I'm not seeing how you flip that switch off. And because of that, if I know that I'm buying an asset that's effectively purpose built to combat that, I can put my money there and I can sit on my hands for a decade and not really worry, because all I need to have confidence in is the fact that they're going to continue to print money and debase the value of the currency. That's the thesis. It's that simple. So if I've got the asset that I believe combats that the best, it's a very quiet, peaceful investing life because you can just sit on your hands and just wait.